Hello everyone and thank you for joining me. Today's webinar would be on my leads, my email, and my action plans in eEdge, or as some of us know it, Market Leader. My name is Vanya and I'm going to be your instructor today. Please feel free to ask questions at any time. So let's get started. First thing first, I just logged into my KW account and we have our control panel at the very top. So far during our classes we've covered the My Marketing portion right here, My Transactions, or as we call it, Dot Loop, My Contacts, and today we're gonna cover the other three sections, which are the My Leads, My Email, and My Action Plans. That way you are well familiar with all the options the control panel offers, and then we're going to throw a few extras into that mix as well. First thing first, it's My Leads. If we click on New Leads, we will be able to see if any new leads have come into the system since the last time we were logged in. However, under that section, we'll also see all the contacts into our database that are under lead status. So as you may see right now, I don't have any contacts as a lead status because all of my contacts have actually been transferred to either cold, warm. There's a bunch of cold ones here since those are agents and I don't want to spam them. So just different statuses. So under that section for me right now there won't be anything. However, for you, every time a new lead comes in, you will see that little the contact information showing up in this section right here. Now you also may be able to see different columns here by simply clicking on choose a column. And you can see right now I don't have turned on the columns for looking in, average price, viewed, and saved. But if I chose to do so, all I have to do is click on the ones I want to display or the information I want to display and click on submit. And now you see that those columns have shown up at the very top. Now, the reason I have those columns turned off is because all those options are actually options available for pro users. And since I don't have a pro account, I don't have the need for those options. Now, would I recommend you get a pro account? That is entirely up to you. If you're a brand new agent and you're just now starting, I would absolutely not recommend you get it until you get a little more familiar with the system and understand exactly what the pro account offers you. Some of the available options really are based on the reporting you're receiving from Market Leader, which is nice, but at this point, if you're not really receiving any leads or you're not pursuing any leads, you're not going to see much results on the reporting either. So it doesn't make much sense to purchase that pro account at this point. Okay, scrolling down the page, next section, it's the unread messages. So anytime a contact sends you a message, it will come to this mailbox in here. However, keep in mind this is only valid if they send you the message to your Market Leader email address. Now, a lot of you are aware that whenever you first sign in with Keller Williams Realty, you receive your Keller Williams email address, which usually consists of something like your name at kw.com. That is a Google email address that is provided for you. It's a business Google account. However, there's another email address you also receive that is only available here through Market Leader. So anytime you send the contact campaign step or a message through Market Leader, let's say they click on the reply button, this is where you're going to see the return message in this unread message section. Or you're also going to see a little indicator popping up on top of the envelope up here in the top right of your screen. And usually it's going to have a number indicating the number of unread messages you have in your inbox. Now, I'm going to step aside for a second from the dashboard to show you how to exactly to find your market leader email address, since, as I said, a lot of you didn't even know they got one. If you click on the drop-down menu next to your picture at the top right of the screen and select the option that says My Account, under Profile Details, you have your website, which is your market leader website. I don't want you spending time on that one since we are switching to Play Store platforms. So just ignore this whole thing over here. But the next section is actually your eEdge email address. So it's going to consist something of the sort of your name at kwrealty.com. So this is where you can find that email address. Few more things you can find under this particular section since we're already here. Obviously, you are under your account settings, so anytime you need to make some changes, let's say you change your phone number or you switch offices or anything like that, or you even get a new website. This is my Play Store website here. This is where you're going to come and make the changes. So again, I went under the drop-down menu next to my picture and selected my account. Okay, so of course now it doesn't want to open for me. Let's see if we can reset it. There we go. So also under this section you can change your password if you ever need to do so. Add a team if you're going to be a part of a team. Add an external email address. Check some of the available marketing options. Make sure your social media is connected. Usually this section here, the agent MLS ID, it's something that is activated during your orientation process. But if for some reason it has not been activated, or if you don't see your MLS ID in here, make sure you select your gonna add the agent MLS ID. You're gonna select your MLS board and you're gonna enter your ID. Now keep in mind the way our IDs look like, usually whenever we go to log in to either Flex MLS or Neighbor or BCAR, we get that ECN dot E for eCar, B for BCAR, N for Neighbor, and then 4 or 5-digit number afterwards. So the system is not asking for your login name. They are just asking for your ID, which is the second portion of that number, everything after the dot. So either the N, the E, or the B number. So that's all you need in this section. And the last option is to add some images. You have the option for a website image, your marketing image, the one that's going to go under your campaigns, and your marketing logo. Now, if you do have a marketing logo, either if you're on a team or you created one for yourself, then you are absolutely welcome to put it in that one last box. However, in my case, I don't have one, therefore I just put the QR code to my mobile app in that one last piece. That way it shows up on all of my marketing materials. Again, that is something you absolutely could do if you wish to do so. You can also see the office information in the next tab. Make sure you have the right address, the correct time zone, and so on. I'm not gonna go over too many details on those sections. They are pretty self-explanatory, but if you have any questions at any time, please feel free to either raise your hand or just type your question in the little chat box or question box. Okay. Activity alerts. Make sure everything is turned on if you wish to receive emails and text notifications whenever you get new leads or whatever a lead emails you back. You can never respond to a lead too quick. The rule of thumb usually is within 15 minutes from the time a new contact comes in. You have about 15 minutes to respond before they get tired of waiting and move to someone else. So again, make sure all of those notifications are turned on. That way you can receive notification anytime. And you can ensure in the text message portion that you have the correct cell phone number entered there as well. MLS administration, it's something that again is activated for you during orientation or even sometimes before orientation, so I'm not gonna waste time on that one, but you can see some of your previous orders. If you've had any, you can see your billing history and shipping addresses. This option here, mobile, it's actually a brand new option, but it's something again you have to pay extra for. So unless you are very familiar with the system and you know that this is something it could be beneficial for you, I would strongly suggest just to hold on before you go and spend money on something you don't know exactly how it would work. And the shared access is an option available for teams if you want to share leads easily or if you want to allow access to your account to another person. This is where you're going to do that. And since we were talking about our emails in Market Leader, here are some of the email settings available for you. So you can modify your signature line. Email quick text is a pro feature. You can modify the 2 welcome emails available. So the first welcome email goes out whenever a contact goes into your Market Leader website and register themselves. So they're going to receive this email that you could always go and customize if it's not to your liking or if you want to add something different. It says, hey, my name is so-and-so, I'm with Keller Williams, you just signed up on my website, so I wanted to introduce myself, now you have access, and so on and so on. This is if they've registered on your website themselves. Second option, if you manually entered a client or a potential lead into your database, you have the option, it's a little checkbox you can select to send them a welcome email, which is this second option available for you for manually entered contacts. It's shorter, it's a little different than the previous one. Hey, I have signed you up on my website and now you have access to homes for sale on the market today. Your tools and my signature line. Now, keep in mind, unfortunately for right now, the way this is set up, it's they're being set up on your market leader website, which is something that it will be phased out by the end of the year. So we do not encourage you to go and spend too much time or money on customizing that website whenever you can spend your time and energy on working on your Placer website, which is the newest platform and which is the one that will stay. So keep in mind whenever you're sending that email is that you will actually be signing them up on your market leader website and not your Placer one. So we're still waiting for this whole system to be slightly changed so it could be more integrated with the new websites. Okay, so that's as far as the welcome emails go. Then we have the initial contact wizard. You can take a quick peek. Greeting, hi, Mr. and Mrs. Smith. This is default greeting. I wanted to touch base and see how your home search is doing. Do you need any help? Blah, blah, blah. If you've ran across anything. My phone number and email are below and it's going to attach your signature line automatically. So that's the initial contact wizard email that you could easily send, or as they abbreviated, ICW. Okay. We have a little bit about seller market reports. I've put together a report, so this is just the email that will accompany if you ever decide to send a seller market report through Market Leader. And the last one is the client setup, which gives you a step-by-step on how to set up your market leader email to forward to a third party like Google. So if you want to receive a copy of the emails that are coming into this inbox here in Market Leader, to let's say your Google account, you can do that simply by following the steps. Now, keep in mind this does not for some reason always work. So if you are having any problems setting up your email client, or even if you're trying just to set up Outlook, I would suggest go back to your control panel page in Market Leader. Click on the little help button in the top right of the screen. And this 512 number is the Market Leader support tech line that will be able to assist you in setting up that email client. So that's all you're going to find under that little menu, My Account and Email Settings. Now going back to the dashboard, it's where all the new leads are going and all the unread messages. This is kind of like a quick overview of your day. And the last section available in there, it's the upcoming reminders. So if there's anything due that day, or if you have anything that is past due, you're gonna see a little reminder in this section here. Again, you can choose the different columns or you can choose all of them to be displayed at the same time. Or you could add a reminder yourself from this section here. You're simply going to click on Add in your reminder. You're going to have to find the contact you want to add the reminder for. So let's say I'm going to set up a reminder for Rose here. I'm going to put what the reminder is. Talk to her about remote access or anything like that. I have to set up when the reminder is due. So let's say it's going to be due tomorrow morning. You can select AM, PM, and just save it. So now I'm going to have an upcoming reminder here showing me that there is something that needs to be done on exactly which date. Now, if you have any reminders that are due that day or are overdue by this point, you're going to also see a little indicator here next to or on top of the little alarm clock, which will show you the exact number of reminders that are due or overdue. So pay attention to the indicators above those two, the alarm clock and the envelope. They do indicate that there is something new or something that requires your attention. And that is all under this section. So if we go back to the control page or control panel page, we've covered the myLeads and my emails. One thing I forgot to mention when we were talking about my emails, if you click on the little envelope, it will actually take you to the email, the inbox portion of the email. You can review all of your inbox messages of the archived one. You can see your sent emails if you've sent anything through Market Leader. Again, the scheduled emails is a pro feature, so I'm not gonna be going over that one. Pretty much what it does is allows you to schedule emails for points in the future, so they don't have to be sent right away. And you have another tab for reminders where again you can review or add a reminder for a particular contact. So that covers my emails section as well. So at this point, is there any questions? Do I see any raised hands, or do you guys need me to unlock the microphones? If you can just put a quick message into the question bar or in the chat box, or simply raise your hand by clicking on the left-hand side of the control panel. I would know I need to pause and address anything. So any questions? Okay, I don't see any questions so far, so we're gonna move along, getting to the good part, which is the action plans. It's kind of hard for me to understand why more people are not using the action plans, since they are such a wonderful tool. Let's have a quick pick exactly what action plan is. And you can simply click on My Task, Do, or select one of the available options next to the plus sign. It doesn't matter which one you select, it's going to take you to the same place. Give it a minute to load. This system has always worked a little slower, so don't get stressed if it takes a minute or two to load. Okay. And most times you will see this error message appearing. It says an unexpected error has occurred. Please hit the back button and try it again. Don't pay attention to that message. Just simply click on the dashboard and the message will disappear. So these are the action plans. So an action plan is pretty much a checklist. A checklist of what you need to be doing. There's different action plans, and if you go under the tab that says Manage Templates, the first available for you is the custom, and under custom you already should have a few available checklist or action plans for you, like the open house. I'm actually not exactly sure which ones are the defaulted one and which one I've added myself. Or actually, if you go under the core tab, the ones that has 13, those are the ones that are already uploaded for you. So you have an action plan for an open house, an action plan for a listing, for a lease, for a buyer contract to close, for a seller contract to close, for met, for not met, for post-close, for post-close for buyer and for seller, post-close for a rental, new agent, tax setup, awards event planning, and launch action plan for USMCs. So those are just some of the ones that are available for you, or the core 13. Those have been taken directly from the MREA book and from the Ignite course and Win with Sellers and Win with Buyers. So they are meant to follow the Keller Williams models. So for instance, if we click on the open house action plan, here is what it consists of. So 7 days prior to the open house, we need to print property flyers, ensure quality is adequate, obtain more if needed. Again, 7 days prior to the open house, we need to research the sign placement regulation, HOA, and so on. Confirm date and time of the open house with the listing agent if that's not you. Then we move 3 days prior. Add the open house if possible to the MLS, to KWLS, to Craigslist. Purchase balloons or place order for yard signs and balloons. Invite your Mets from your database. So there's like 30 steps here. This is just page 1 of 3. It has 30 different steps of what you need to be doing prior to the open house, and the last few are after, on the effective date and after the open house. So now you have a complete list how to hold a successful open house. We all know that placing an open house sign in front of the property does not necessarily make it a successful open house. So there are steps that need to be taken, and here are the steps that will help you be a little more successful with your open houses. Now, if we go back to Manage Templates, we already looked at the core 13. However, at any time we can take one of those and modify it to match our own needs, our own requirements. Or there's another option. If you looked under the library, and right now there is a 430 action plans under the library, and you're going to notice that those are actually uploaded from other agents throughout Keller Williams Realty, from all over Keller Williams Realty here in the US and maybe Canada, because I know they use Market Leader as well. So now you have access to the minds and to the tactics of some of the top people in Keller Williams Realty. What do they use? What steps do they take? And simply you have to search for what exactly you're looking for. So is it a new lead? If I type a new lead, there's a few action plans here. New seller lead, new buyer lead, or new leads altogether. If you're looking for a listing, then you see different listing checklists. New listing template, my listing action plan, and so on or so on. You can have for, if the core one wasn't enough for you for open house, you can search here for open house and see if anyone has any different ideas for open houses, or for post closing, or for anything really. So this is the beauty of it. You have access to all those ideas. All you have to do is select one. So let's say, oh, and by the way, you could also search by name. So if you search my name, you'll see a couple of action plans that I've uploaded. So let's say we're looking at the new listings checklist. There are 47 steps whenever you take a new listing, so it's not just put the sign up front, put it in the MLS, and hope someone else is going to sell it for you. Here are some marketing strategies on how you can sell the property yourself. Take photos or schedule a photographer, make extra key, place the block box, obtain measurements, scan documents, all of it, it's here for you for the taking. All you have to do once when you find the action plan you like and the action plan you want to use is simply click as import as new custom. Give the action plan a name, give it a description, and click on create new plan. At this point, we're going to go through the plan. We're going to look through it step by step. If there's any step you disagree with or you don't think you're going to use, all you have to do is, let's say some people don't want to make extra key for the office. You're going to put a little checkbox and click on delete. So that's going to delete that particular task from the checklist. Or if you think of something else that might be useful, you could always click on add a new custom task. Give that task a name. So let's say submit the file for compliance. Give it a description, and you could always copy the name as a description as well. Is it a call, email, to-do, appointment, or mail type of task? What is the priority? What is the due date? So we have 72 hours to submit. That's 3 business days after the effective date, or I can do it prior. In this case, it's going to be after. Do I need to drop it off if it hasn't been accomplished by a certain amount of time? And do I want to add it to the calendar, yes or no? And simply click save or save and add more tasks. Okay. Is there any attachments? Nope. So save. Now we're going to go back to the action plan. And if you go and look for a task that is due 3 days from the effective date, there it is. submit the file for compliance. So that was added to the task list or to the description. So that's how you can take one of the available action plans that are already in the library and make it your own. Import it into your own custom templates and make it your own by making small changes as you see fit. Once when you're ready to start the action plan, you can start it by contact or by template. It doesn't matter, so let's just go by template. And we're going to use the one we just imported, which was this one here. Continue. Who is this action plan being made for? So at this point here, you're going to either put the name of the client or their address. So let's say this is for Tammy Adamson. Search. Okay. And since Tammy is already in my database, it's going to allow me to select her name. Click on select contact. When is the effective date? And since this is a template for a new listing, the effective date will be the date we signed the listing agreement. If it was an open house, then it would have been the day of the open house or the day of closing, anything like that. So let's say today is the listing date. Make sure you have the right name. If a task happens to fall on a Saturday or Sunday, you have the option to either move the tasks that were assigned to Saturday to the previous Friday, or let's say you can move the tasks that were assigned to Sunday to the next Monday. It's entirely up to you how you're going to handle that one. Now, we all know that we work on weekends. It's not like we don't work on weekends. But usually that's the time we schedule appointments, showing appointments. So if you think you won't have the time to complete those tasks, or if the task required to be completed during the weekday, then you can move them either to Friday or the next Monday. And now you have to assign the action plan to someone, and usually you're going to be assigning it to yourself. So just search your name, select, and then scroll back to the top and click Start Plan. I do have the option to add a new task as well at this point if I wanted to. But if not, I can just review what are my available tasks right now. So obtain key from the seller, upload executed, blah, 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 blah. So we're going to see all this task, and we can actually organize them. First of all, they're in a tab that is all the tasks. We can look at the ones that are strictly email tasks, call type, to-do type, appointment type, or a mail type. And we can see the completed, in progress, on hold, not started, or anything like that. Okay. Back to the dashboard really quick. This would be overview of all of your action plans. So whenever you start your day, you do your lead generation early in the morning, and let's say the hours between 11 and 12. You focus on your tasks for the day before you go out, show properties. So you just open this and look, okay, so I have this, and that overdue, so I better be making some phone calls or sending some emails or anything like that. Another way to see if you have any steps or any tasks that need to be completed is simply by going back to your control panel on myKW. And in the My Action Plan section, you'll see in parentheses the actual number of tasks that are due today or the number of tasks that are overdue. So that's again a reminder for you that something needs your attention or you need to go and complete certain task. Okay, so that's just about it under action plans. I really hope you guys take full advantage of them. It is very useful, especially if you're a brand new agent and you don't know, at this point you really don't know what you don't know. So this would be a good way for you to get some ideas of what successful agents throughout Keller Williams are doing, and maybe copy some of their ideas, maybe tweak them a little bit, make them your own, see what twist you can put on them. So you just have to think outside the box, and this is a source for ideas for you. So use the templates, use the library that is provided for you. Everyone has access to it. So just gather and create your own action plans. That would be my suggestion for all the new agents, and even for the experienced agents who are at the point where they're wondering, okay, what else could I do to make this work even better? Alrighty, so back to the control panel. We pretty much looked through all the options available here. However, one more thing, I want to take a quick pick. I know you guys go over this during orientation, but sometimes you get very overwhelmed with all the new information that is coming your way, so it doesn't hurt to repeat some of it. So that would be the My Market Center Internet here at the bottom of your control panel. In case you've forgotten how to go to the calendar and look at any of the upcoming classes, or if you want to see or add a post to the blend. So let's say you're holding an open house, or if you want to sit an open house but don't have any listings, here's some agents that are posting, need agents for open house this weekend, open house, street needed, blah, blah, blah. So you can just go over the blend and see if there's anything of interest to you. You can see all the office posts, the ones that have been added to the blend by the leadership team, the associate posts. If there are any community posts, they'll be there as well. Under associates, you can look at all and see all of our agents and email them if you're trying to reach them this way. You can see the staff members if you need to get in touch with any of the leadership team, and so on. There's also the groups section where you're going to find rosters of the individual offices like the 38, Fort Walton Beach, Destin, um, and so on. Under the Market Center tab, you're going to find the calendar. Very important. Make sure you go and take a look at it. Make sure you stay up to date on your classes and what's coming up in the Market Center. Register for any of the classes if a registration is required. So you can do that through either this calendar, or you could also do it through KW Connect. So calendar. Under resources, you can find the floor duty calendars and the conference rooms availabilities for the different offices. So if you need to book one of the conference rooms for a meeting with your client or for a closing, or if you just want to sit floor duty, you can reach the calendars here and just sign up. Under documents, you can find all of the LC minutes from this year and some of the last year. You can find the language of real estate, which you always hear Jeff talk about during the all company meeting. So there's a lot of helpful, useful information in your Market Center intranet. Again, to access it, just click here on the My Market Center intranet at the bottom of your control panel, or sometimes it will be located down here as well. It's going to take you to the exact same place. So now that we've covered just about everything in the eEdge control panel, my suggestion would be go and play with the system. Don't be afraid to explore and to find out what else is hidden, because this is such a tremendous source of information. There is so much incorporated and connected to this system. It is hard to learn at once, and you constantly have new things added to the system. Some things will be taken out, so make sure you go and explore and find out all the useful tools that are provided for you by the KW team, KW International. So, and if you have any questions at any time, you could either post a comment below the video. This recording, by the way, will be added to the YouTube channel. So if you want to ask any questions, you can post it there, or you can submit a ticket to our ticketing system. At this point, all of you should know how to do that. It's simply by going to support.destinkw.com. Our leadership team is available for any questions you may have, so please feel free to reach out. But at this point, does any of you have any questions? Please raise your hand if you do. Okay, I don't see any hands raised. Well, I'm gonna stop at this point. Again, if you have any questions, you know how to reach me. Please feel free, and I hope all of you have a wonderful rest of your week. Have a good one, and thank you for joining me today.